Yo, yo, what's happening?
Hey, what's up, world? I'm Avi.
I'm Ty Won. So today, what we doing, Avi?
Well, on the Well You're Not Wrong podcast, we're going to be talking about what's going on in hip hop, what's going on in news, everything that's modern. And right now, we're going to get into discussing Cordae, the artist Cordae, who Ty actually put me on. So we're going to talk about his latest album.
Yes, Cordae, one of my favorite rappers that's doing that thing right now. Definitely one of my favorite rappers, arguably the best lyricist under 25 right now. He's really doing his thing.
Definitely.
Man, he just dropped this album From a Bird's Eye View. It's a project I've been anticipating for a long time. So I've been vibing to it, been rocking with it. It's been out for a few weeks. And what did you think of the album?
When it comes to Cordae's album, I'm really new to Cordae, and after listening to him, I was able to hear that he was an artist that had a lot of range. That was the first thing that I actually noticed about him. Hearing how he can go really in depth with a lot of his music, such as with his song "Mama's Hood." Hearing how he had a lot of knowledge of just spirituality when he talks about Father Time and Mother Nature, talking about duality. I really admire how he's able to incorporate a lot of intelligence into his lyrics, as well as be relatable to a lot of other people. You don't have to be an intellectual to be able to listen to Cordae. He makes music for people of all ages. If you're from a different background or a similar background, he has something for you. So that's something that I admire and appreciate about his music.
Yeah, I think it's dope. Like I feel like in a way, like he's conscious about the streets, but he can go there if he
Yeah.
wants to, but he doesn't go all the way there. Like he doesn't glorify that. Like, I know he has a little bit of a hustling background from his
Hmm.
parents or whatever. I know he said, his dad and a couple other people were like drug dealers and stuff back in the day. So he came up in that, but he doesn't like glorify that. He just kind of touches on it. And that's when I like, share your story, but don't encourage people to go down that road, especially if you didn't really live it. Like you kind of viewed it, but you didn't live it. But I feel like he just gives a dope perspective on that overall. And I was a big fan of his first album, The Lost Boy. I thought the production on that and the lyrics on that were just amazing. I will say I think The Lost Boy grabbed me more out the gate than this album. This album had a lot of growers on it. When I say by that, like songs that I had to listen to a couple more times that grew on me, like the
Yeah.
joint Mama's Hood. That joint is dope. It has like kind of a retro vibe to a '90s vibe.
Oh
Kind
yeah.
of reminds me of I don't know. It kind of reminds me a little bit of like back in the day. What's the
Hmm.
song with Ahmad or whatever? It's like just give you that type of feel, like that retro feel. I like the joint he's got Chronicles with her and Dirk. That's like
Oh
a
yeah.
vibe. That's kind of like an old school, but that's just like a vibe song. I mean, you just vibe
Definitely.
out to. Champagne Glasses with Cordae, Stevie Wonder, and Freddie Gibbs. Freddie Gibbs went crazy on
Crazy.
that verse,
Yeah.
like his whole flow, like the way he came on the track, and then like, I just sitting here and think about how long
Hmm.
this rap stuff gonna last. Like the way he was just flowing on there. Like Freddie definitely doesn't get the credit he deserves. He's been in the media a lot lately for like the troll and stuff, him going back and forth with Gunna and all that. But people really need to give Freddie his respect as a lyricist, and that's someone I've recently got into. I've been listening to Freddie ever since I heard about Freddie. Like I knew like his stuff with Jeezy, and he's been around for a minute. But what made me dig into Freddie Gibbs was his verse on Benny the Butcher's album. I was telling you about Benny Butcher. You definitely got to check out Burden of Proof. That was one of my favorite hip hop
Hmm.
albums of last year. But his verse on there was crazy. And like that's like if I hear an artist or an artist I'm not that familiar with, but they're on an artist's song that I listen to, and they have a dope verse or dope hook, or they bring something dope to the track, it's gonna make me go listen to them and figure out their music. Like his
Oh
verse on there
yeah.
was just so crazy, so many quotables in there. So yeah, I definitely anticipate and listen to anything Freddie Gibbs drops. And he's from right up the street too, like in a way, like because he's
So
from
he's from
Gary.
Chicago.
Where he claims Chicago, like he said, like this is where he partied, this is where he grew up, this is where he spent most of his time. But he's actually from Gary. But that's 20 minutes outside of
Yeah, that's our
Chicago.
neighbor.
So right, you can claim Chicago, like you gotta come
Might
to
as well be
Chicago.
like the east side as
Right,
well.
right. So that's what he says. He reps East Side Gary. But yeah, Freddie definitely delivered on there. Overall, I think Cordae delivered though a solid album. I'm not gonna
And
say I like it
mhm.
better than his first album, but overall as a project, I definitely feel he delivered. So
Okay, so you referenced earlier that you heard a lot of growth in his album,
right,
and I remember we were speaking earlier about how Cordae kind of seems like he was a J. Cole influenced artist. Do
right.
you think some of that has something to contribute with his growth? You think that him being J. Cole influenced or influenced by other conscious rappers and incorporating some of their influence into his music is something that's a part of his growth, or?
Maybe maybe. I mean, I don't. And he may just have influence for the simple fact that he was co-signed by the J. Cole's, Eminem's, Wayne. Like
Yeah.
everybody was saying Cordae is the next one. Like even if like I didn't know about Cordae like until I heard about him on the Everyday Struggle
Hmm.
podcast. I used to watch. That's how I found out about him, but I wasn't familiar with him. I know he kind of got his background through like gaming and stuff like that, and got his name out there through that. But yeah, I think like cause the heavy hitters, the
Yeah.
lyricists, like I said, the Eminems, the Waynes, the Coles, they stamped him and say he's the next one. So
And
like
that's
I feel like when they
facts.
give you that stamp, like you gotta grow as
Can't
an
nobody
artist,
tell you
right?
nothing.
I feel like I can only imagine like with the song he has with Eminem, I can only imagine like them having input on the overall project and giving him feedback. He seems like he has a really good team and good people around him. Um, Man, he did get shown up though by Eminem, but who
Yeah.
doesn't get shown out by
By
Eminem?
Eminem,
Like
right.
he had a crazy verse on that. Eminem always goes like 2-3 minutes, crazy punchlines, crazy metaphors. But it's hard for anybody to match up to Eminem on a verse, so I'm not mad at
And
that.
we already seen that he had her on one of his songs with Lil Durk.
Right.
So who are some other R&B singers you think that would sound really good and fit very well with Corday?
Cordae. I think Chris Brown and Cordae would be dope. Maybe like Alicia Keys and Cordae. That would be a dope collaboration. R&B. Maybe like Jeremiah. I could hear Jeremiah and
Yeah, I
Cordae
think that
doing
would be a real
something.
good fit.
Yeah, yeah. That's something I could kind of think of off top. But overall, yeah, I felt like he delivered. Would you say he delivered on this
Yeah, he
album? Or?
definitely delivers in
Yeah,
multiple ways.
yeah, and I kind of feel like they didn't push the single hard enough though. Like I don't know, like his label or whatever. They didn't like Gifted. I know it's the first single. I don't know if they pushing this Chronicles with her and Dirk is the next single. They should. That joint is hard. But or the Parables with Eminem. But I feel like they not pushing the singles because his first album he came out and sold 25,000 first week. I believe the numbers were somewhere around there. And this last album, I think he sold like 21,000 first week. So like he had kind of like a decline in sales, but I feel like they didn't
They should
they not
definitely push
promoting it.
Chronicles. That would be a really good one to push. And it would
Yeah,
be an easier one to push because it has Lil Durk and her, two popping artists going on.
right.
Yeah, so it'd be great if they were able to push him more. But I think Corday almost he even though he can fit into mainstream music, I think there's a part of people that feels like he's like that hidden gem. I
Okay.
think he gives off a lot of hidden gem energy, where
Mm,
it's nothing that you hear on the radio, but it's
right.
something that when you discover it, it's like, wow, this is the greatest rap I've ever heard. And it's almost as if he was to go mainstream, it might end up having him having to do some type of transition or have to water down some of his lyrics to be able to fit that mainstream
That's true. Maybe
type
I
of
could see
music
that for his
sometimes.
age group, but I look at like J. Cole, like I feel like once Cole always was the type of artist I feel like made radio come to him. But even though he had
Oh,
songs like
that's true.
Workout or Power Trip that was kind of like more radio poppy friendly, but I feel like definitely like Forest Hills Drive Cole, like he said, forget radio and forget trying to make the songs, make radio come to us. Like he didn't downplay his substance or dumb down or anything. And I feel like that's what Corday could have did. Like I
Yeah, I
heard
see
I
that.
heard Gifted on the radio a little bit, but overall it just didn't get that push I felt like it should have got. But he keeps delivering and keeps putting out good music. He'll continue to rise up
Yeah, for
and be
sure.
be one of the people that's out there. And he actually has a concert coming up later this month, so I'm actually going. I got a ticket. I don't know. Are you gonna go?
I might as well go.
Yeah, you should go. Like we
So
gotta.
it's something that's really funny is how you just said earlier that the people that stamped the Corday, like Lil Wayne,
Right.
Eminem, Drake got stamped by Lil Wayne right when he first got into the
Right.
game.
Oh yeah,
So
definitely.
I think that Lil Wayne stamp can really like uplift someone's career. Like,
Yeah.
how would you say that Lil Wayne's stamp has uplifted Drake and how that can even be trickle into Corday's career?
Well, I think it was a little bit different with Wayne and Drake simply because Wayne discovered Drake and introduced Drake into the mainstream.
Hmm.
And Drake it was his artist. So, and at the time, I heard about Drake in 2009. We coming off of 2008, where Wayne was Wayne. Like he was the biggest, hottest rapper.
Hottest, yeah.
Mixtape just dropped Carter 3, which sold 1 million copies first week. Like he was just out of this world. Like he was by far the hottest MC, the biggest MC at that time. So when you got somebody of that magnitude backing you, and wants to sign you, wants to be a part of their label, and he told Drake, I want you to be a part of Young Money. Like that just was all he needed. Plus Drake had the talent, Drake had the buzz on his own, and people were somewhat familiar with Drake from Degrassi. So it was all of those things that kind of went into it. But definitely now if Eminem goes on tour and brings out Cordae, like when Wayne was going on tour and Drake, was on the mixtape grind, So Far Gone grind, and he was bringing Drake out, something like that, or like if Cole goes out on a tour and brings Cordae out, that can kind of help elevate him, like
Most
how like
definitely.
Wayne did for Drake. So that definitely can happen. You definitely need that pusher, even like Jay did for J Cole. Like J Cole, I heard his verse on Blueprint 3, on A Star Is Born, and that's pretty much my introduction to him. I wasn't familiar with him before that, but Jay brought him on the Blueprint 3 tour, and that's what helped, catapult him and give him the buzz and the push. So when he did drop Sideline Story, it was like, oh, this is the guy who's Jay's
Yeah.
artist. He's been on tour with Jay, so let's go check out his artist. Like I feel like that maybe that's what Cordae needs to get to that next level.
And I think he definitely needs more publicity.
Yeah, he
I feel like
definitely
he
does.
is not seen enough in this world. You
Right.
know, he should be seen more. Like when Kanye stamped Chance the Rapper, Chance was seen throughout all of Chicago,
Yeah.
everywhere.
Right.
And if that can happen for Chance the Rapper, if Lil Wayne can have Drake get put on, I'm pretty sure Cordae. I'm pretty sure it's only a matter of time until Cordae's really gets to be fully seen and recognized for the talent that he has.
Yeah, and it's just word of mouth too. Like I found out about Cordae
That's how I found out
through one
about
of my
him. Word of
friends.
mouth.
Like just word of mouth. That's always the best promotion. But so Cordae, we rooting for you, man.
Yeah,
Looking
we
forward to the
definitely are.
concert and dope album, bro. Dope album, definitely delivered. So moving on to some other things. Gunna dropped a very dope album too. I've been diving into that. I haven't listened to it as much as I've been listening to the Cordae album, but there's some dope songs on there. I like the Drake verse on there. I'm sure. Have you heard P Power? I feel like
I haven't heard that. Well, wait, that's a song with Future, right?
no, that's the song with Drake. The one with
Oh,
Future is
nah. Pushin' P.
no Push and P. Yeah, Future's on Push and P, and Future is on the Too Easy remix. But P Power is dope. You definitely got to check that out.
Yeah, I'll
Drake
definitely
is rapping different on that, and it was crazy like the way the rollout was for that song. So the song, it was rumored that it was a Drake collaboration. It was going to be on this album. Then the album comes out and Drake's feature's not on there. They're like, okay, this is the Drake less feature album of Gunna, what happened to the Drake feature. And then like a few days later, the collaboration P Power leaked online. And I listened to it, I'm like, man, this is dope. Like, how did this not make the album? And then I read a story that was saying that it was sample clearance issues.
Oh wow.
So they I guess they couldn't get in contact with the publisher or whoever owned the master of that song to clear the sample. And so I guess they finally got it cleared and put it out. But I don't know. It might be some truth to that, but I really just think that was their way of hyping the song up. Like let's leak it on YouTube, see what the people think, build up some hype for it, and then put it out on like the bonus edition or like the reissued edition of like the final version of the album. Like I kind of look at it like how like when Kanye's album came out, like it was like certain songs were still getting tweaked, and he'll take the album down, update it, new version of stuff. And now with everything being digital and just going right in iTunes and stuff with the labels and stuff, they can easily make adjustments to albums even when it's out. Even going back to like those Future albums that came out a few years ago, the Future and Hendrix album, like those songs, like bonus songs, came out later. Everybody's doing like these deluxe editions and stuff. So I just really think it's more of like a marketing thing. It's a good
I
idea to
think
get
that's
people
where
hyped
like a
up.
lot of artists nowadays. It's all about how you market yourself.
Right.
And I think that's a great thing, but it also can be a bad thing because there's so much great talent that's not being marketed, and there's a lot of music out here where it all sounds the same, where it sounds unoriginal, but it's getting heavily marketed.
Right.
So when it comes to music, I really think that it's all about who the artist is and if that artist really believes in what they're putting out. Because if you like, every artist is literally just one hit away from being viral nowadays.
Yeah, that's
So
true.
it's really about just believing in your craft.
Right. Believing in your craft and your online presence. Unfortunately, we're in that TikTok, Instagram, viral
Yeah.
video era. Like it sucks that music has gotten to this point that you have to just basically do ridiculousness online, like just to get a buzz surrounding your project. But it's just crazy. Just
And it's probably really hard for people that are in like small towns because like somewhere like Chicago and I'm sure New York, LA, Atlanta, you might not have to do as much ridiculousness to be seen. You just have to be at the right place at the right time, know the right people. There's a lot of like magazine publications, television publications, and media out here where if you just know the right people, know where to go, know where to hang out, know where to do your showcases, know where to perform at, you can build a name for yourself and build the right relationships. But if you ask like a black kid in Utah, how can I get on? It's probably going to take so much extra effort, or maybe even leaving your own city. Like it's interesting how like where you are can literally influence your impact in a way.
Yeah, that's true. And I want to talk about too some other new releases that are out recently. I know
Hmm.
before we started recording this, I played you the Benny the Butcher and Johnny and J Cole, Johnny P's Caddy. I think that's a
Yeah, that
really
song
dope
went
record.
hard.
Like so far, I'm gonna say lyrically, like they both went crazy. And J Cole got the verse of the year for right now. Like right now, like we only a little bit into 2022, but
Hmm.
he spazzed on that verse. The line, especially the line where he said something like, you know, the wrath of the reaper, cup half full. To me, it's a glass of ether.
Ether.
Um, I'm probably going to hell if God asks for a feature. Like what? Like bro, went crazy. Cole is definitely up there. Like he even like he said a headshot, like calling himself the best rapper alive. And I think Cole can talk that talk. He
He
definitely can
can.
talk that talk. He
He
can
can back it
definitely
up.
he can claim that. I'm not mad. Like I always argue. Drake is my favorite rapper of all time. But like, as far as his Mount Rushmore of these 2010s, like Cole is up there,
Cole is there.
Kendrick is up
Cole,
there,
Kendrick. Yeah.
Nicki is up there. Like it's some other people that have really done damage within, this recent decade or so that are of title contenders. But Cole's definitely up there on the Mount Rushmore. Yeah,
Would you
he
put
went
Future
crazy
up
on that,
there?
bro. Future. Ooh, Future. Yeah, you kind of got to put Future on there too because the way that you release music now, the flows, the beats, the production, everything he's did with Metro Boomin
Oh
and
yeah.
Zaytoven and just these little catchy catchphrase songs with these trap drums and beats and these different
All
flows
the
and
songs he
melodies
produced.
and blending this like hardcore trap lyrics with
Smooth
melody,
melodies.
melodic type. Like Future is definitely the landscape of music would be a lot different if it wasn't for Future. Like Future definitely he has changed the game. It has like probably the most revolutionary sound in
Yeah.
most recent years.
And what
So
makes it sound revolutionary is like he has like different modes he can rap it. He can do the mumble rap. He can do the fast rap.
right,
He can even harmonize a bit. That's why there were points of times where I was thinking that a lot of his music might have been Crazy Bone influence from Bone Thugs, because those guys they were rough around the edges. They
mm,
talked about street life. They talked about all everything Future talks about. Bone Thugs definitely got a song about it, and they also would be able to rap fast, do mumble rap, and harmonize.
right.
Yeah.
And Future came out of the Dungeon family with Andre 3000 and a couple other people down there. So he's definitely came up around the right people and. To have this run that he has, if you coming up
Mm.
around the producers and people that got Andre 3000 and
Oh
Big Boy
yeah.
started, like you only gonna flourish and be
You
successful
can
from
only
that,
flourish,
right?
yeah, because Andre 3000 is literally one of the best lyricists alive.
And he delivered arguably, I guess, of last year, like the best verse with that man, what's it called on Kanye's album on the Donda? Let me look it up. It's the Donda Deluxe the life of the party. When he starts, it's like they're talking when he's talking to his mom in heaven, and he's asking
Wow.
Kanye's mom to talk to her to send him a sign down here on Earth because he's kind of like lost without his mom. It's just crazy the whole perspective and the way that he was rapping in the song. He's like, "Hey, Miss Donda, if you come across my mama, like like it's just
Oh wow.
crazy that the way he was delivering it and speaking the story. Talking about how he maybe she's sending him a sign by a prick of grass when he's laying down, maybe or from lighting up a joint. The smell of lighting up a joint reminds him of the times like when him and his mom used to smoke and how he started back smoking again because he missed his mom. It was just a crazy perspective the way he delivered that verse, and
Yeah.
it's always special to get an
And
Andre
you know how
3000
that's
verse.
interesting how you said that. I was just listening to Nipsey Hussle in an interview, and he was talking about how music is spiritual and how when it comes to music, you are the only person when you're creating a song that can hear it.
Right.
And you're hearing it from up there, and you're bringing what's in the heavens all the way down to earth. And you're the only person that can hear this. And that's what makes music, rap, that's what makes it spiritual. And just hearing how you just mentioned that about how Andre 3000, Kanye West, making a song about praying to the heavens just to get signs, and then seeing those signs and small omens in their life
Right.
on how they're going to end up creating something. That I really believe, music is something that connects with everyone on a soul level, on why we like the music we like, why we gravitate to the artists we gravitate to.
And to piggyback off of the Kanye thing. There's somebody else that I want to talk about that's affiliated with Kanye that kind of aired out his grievances and discrepancies he has with his label boss
Go ahead.
or former label boss. I want to talk about Big Sean, another person that's a candidate to be on the Mount Rushmore of the 2010s.
Definitely a candidate.
You
Cannot
know,
sleep on Big Sean.
definitely can't sleep on Big Sean. So he did a Drink Champs podcast interview, and he talked about, you know, how Kanye was on there talking to him crazy, holding up the tombstone in the interview, saying that, on his tombstone when he dies, it should say, the worst thing I could have ever did was sign Big Sean. I'm like, man, that's crazy. And like Nori and all them were like laughing and stuff.
Insulting and
Yeah, but
disrespectful.
they didn't even process that. He said he thought he was giving him a compliment. It took him a second to realize, oh, he's insulting Big Sean. And it just so happened they had Big Sean scheduled a couple weeks later. So Sean basically responded. It was like, you know, that's some, I can't really say because I can't curse, but that's some woman A stuff. But he really didn't say that, but you can kind of fill in what he said. But so yeah, like he's just like, bro, like how can you say that when Sean referenced that he sold 50 million albums on Good Music. He's Good Music's highest selling artist outside of Kanye. Like, so, and he's just like, Sean recently left Good Music, which I didn't even realize that after he dropped that EP. What's Sean's EP called? Um, it's his first project that he's released since leaving Good Music, and it's the joints with like Loyal to a Fault on there, and what is it? I'm gonna pull it up, got it right here. Um, Big Sean. It was co-produced by Hit Boy. Let me see. What You Expect. It was the What You Expect EP. It dropped at the towards the later part of last year.
Okay.
But yeah, that was his first project that he's released on his own label. It's called Finally Famous Over Everything Entertainment. And yeah, he fulfilled his contractual obligations with Good Music, so he left. So I think that's kind of got something to do with it. I think Kanye was probably expecting him to re-up with him on the contract, so I think that's why Kanye was talking crazy about him in that interview. But yeah, basically, like Sean was saying, Kanye owes him $6 million, so I can understand Sean taking that
Being
personal and
upset.
feeling the type of way
Yeah.
about that. Like, and he said like he's tried to address Kanye several times about it, but just the times where he sees Kanye, it's not really the appropriate time. Like, he recently saw him at like Sunday service, or they might even be in the studio together, but he's not trying to mess his vibe up. And I understand that, me being an artist, like you don't want to talk about business while you're in creative mode. So you got to
Exactly.
lock in on that. That can just mess your whole vibe up and creativity up, and just mess your whole energy and just attitude up. So yeah, I can understand not wanting to bring that up while you're creating music. But definitely it's something that can be addressed. And actually, Sean said that he got his record contract audited, and his manager and accountant said that it's the worst contract they had ever seen. And Kanye owes him some M's. And it makes sense because Big Sean had a verse on Benny the Butcher's album where he says, N words. I've seen N words that's up B's that owe me M's. And I didn't peep like what he was saying. Like he's thinking, because Kanye's a billionaire, like he's up B's, but he owes me B's. He owes Big Sean $6 million. But that's just some business stuff they're gonna have to work out. I think I would advise Sean's manager, whoever, they just they're gonna have to settle that in court. Kind of like what
Yeah, that's all you can do.
What Wayne had to do with Birdman, until they was beefing and going back and forth. But you just got to go to court and get the lawyers involved and get all that straightened out. So
Yeah.
hopefully, we'll get some Kanye and Big Sean. Those are two of my favorite collaborators. Whenever they come together and do a song, they do damage. They go back and forth, go bar for bar, and they've created some classic songs together. And Kanye does well producing Sean. So I definitely hope that they commend things so we can continue
Get
to
some
get
more
some
music.
some Kanye and Big Sean. Some music, man. That's a dynamic duo that we need in hip hop, and hopefully they can work out their issues. And I'm also looking forward to that Kanye Netflix documentary that's releasing, I believe, February
February 10th.
6th. Is it February 10th or 16th? Let me see. Kanye Netflix documentary. It's a 3-part doc, and it's gonna be on Netflix. And Kanye recently caused some controversy because he said he wants to basically give the final take on his story and his vision of how his career went. So he wanted the final edit of the production, but basically the producers, Cootie and Cheek, was like, "Nah, we got this. You're not gonna get the final edit." So they had a little bit of back and forth, but that may be a publicity stunt to uh, you know, build up some hype surrounding the release of the documentary. But so the documentary is releasing February 16th.
Oh,
There's going to be
16.
weekly installments. So, and they actually have been showing it in like some film festivals and stuff
Hmm.
early. But yeah, that's the official release date. So I'm definitely looking forward to that. We'll definitely have to do a
Yeah, we'll
podcast on that
definitely
too and break
speak
that
upon
down.
that.
That's a whole show on itself. So, just wrapping up, I want to just talk about some new music and release. We talked about the Benny the Butcher and J. Cole, Johnny P's Caddy. That's dope. Chris Brown put out his single for his latest album, Iffy, a few weeks ago. That's buzzing and doing his thing online with the whole Iffy challenge. I think that's dope. I thought the
Yeah.
video was dope. Did you have a chance to check out the video?
The video, no, but I did hear the song.
Yeah, and you saw the challenges. So
Yeah,
yeah,
and they had a dance challenge.
yeah, his choreography is always through the roof and next level. So
And dance challenges always get like the song to be more publicized. There's so much music that I found out about just on TikTok, having dances and
Right.
all of these dance challenges. So even though Chris Brown's international, it's cool that he still does things to connect with people.
oh yeah, definitely. And it's just unfortunate that every time he gears up to release an album or has any type of rollout, it's always some
Scandal
BS that comes
going
with
on or something
like this
negative going on in
whole
his,
like some lady claiming there was some Miami yacht party late last
with
year
Diddy.
with Diddy on his yacht and claimed that Chris Brown drugged her, put something in her drink and took her back and raped her. She tried to leave the room
And this was in
there's
2020.
yeah, I'm like, you know, this is come on now. Chris Brown, the king of R&B, like there's plenty of women out there that want to give him the draws. I'm sure he ain't raping no women. I'm sorry. Chris Brown he
Yeah,
just
it's
doesn't give off
challenging to
rapist
believe
vibes.
that.
He just doesn't
Yeah.
need to. Like when you're a celebrity of that magnitude, you know, the lady's been on you for years. Like, you know, you don't even got to do that. That's just not, you know, that's just
He
wild.
can
They
go
need
to
to cut
any
it out.
city, any country,
Any
and
city, any country, and get any girl he wants.
Girl he wants.
Like Chris Brown, get these women to sign non-disclosure agreements when they get with you, man. Don't trust them, okay? Get these women to sign NDAs when you with them, bro.
Same with Future.
So you don't have to get Future, any celebrity, if I, you know, when I get famous,
if you make 1 million or more,
yeah, when
get
I
an
get
NDA.
famous, I'm getting some NDAs going. We not about to, you ain't gonna be claiming rape cases.
Even
on me.
Beyonce has that. If you want to even just kick it with her.
Right. So, I guess that wraps up today's podcast. I think it was a pretty good discussion, man. It's our first one. I'm excited. So we gotta clap it up, man. This is our first
For all
one.
those who are listening, thank you for tuning in.
Thank you. And this is a goal and a dream of mine, something I've been wanting to do for a long time. So to see it finally come into fruition, I'm very happy. It's Ty Won Avi. It's the You're Not Wrong podcast. We're gonna be hitting you with the latest entertainment news, hip hop gossip, and everything that's going on amongst young people every week. You can catch us right here on the WVON
1690
SoundCloud page 1690. Let's go and shout out your Instagram handle so they know where to check us out.
_ AVIJ_.
And mine's is at Ty Won Official. So you can get Instagram at TYWON Official. That's all my social media. You can look me up on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, facebook.com/Ty Won Official. And yeah, we'll be back next week with more.
All right.